There's opportunity in every market for all of you who are watching this video, whether you're thinking of selling, thinking of buying, or just watching from the sidelines here. We're going to go over the different housing categories in Mississauga specifically, talk about them, see where they're at compared to last month and last year, see if there's some surprises, or see if everything is on the down like we've seen in some of our other breakdowns here. Brampton didn't show too hot. The overall GTA market didn't show too hot, but is Mississauga different than the rest? Let's find out. So we're going to start off with the most important category because it's the one that's constantly in the news. Every headline is about condos crashing. Let's see. Is it really crashing, especially over the last couple months here? Let's take a peek. Last year, the median price for a condo was $600,000. We are now at $555,000, and last month we were $565,000 on a similar amount of transactions. So transaction volume is down from last year. We're down to 116. Last year was at 165. Last month it was 104. So we're slightly up on the month, but we're down on that median price about $10,000. Not shocking. The condo market's taken a very substantial hit, but there's a stat here that is extremely important to look at. 80%. And that stat is the 80.2% of the listings are selling below list price. What this means is if you're selling a condo, likely it's going to sell below your listing price. It's not something you're going to be able to avoid. At 80% of the time, that's a really big chunk of the listings that are going to go below list. Keep that in mind when you're pricing your condo, but you don't want to be the one that prices your condo too high and you just get no viewings right out the gate. That will just kill your listing the moment it hits the market. Pricing it near what you think that value is. If you think it's worth $850, maybe you go $855, maybe you go $857.9. Don't go too crazy with it because it can hurt your listing in the long run. Days on market. Check it out. Last year, 20 days on market, higher price. 25 days now, lower price by about $50,000. So the condos, check. They have not fared well. Hopefully, one of the categories I'm going to show you today are going to fare well, but let's take a peek. We got condo townhouses we're going to look at next. And right out the gate, 840 grand last year, and now we're at 770. And that's the median price, of course. Last month, we were at 781. So we're down from last month about 10K. Last year, we're down 70K. Transactions are almost chopped in half. We have a 40% reduction from last year, same time, to today on the actual transactions. We had 75 transactions only take place in March that were condo townhouses, and there's a lot of condo townhouses. The new listings that actually hit the market were 252. Up from last month, so a 35% increase in the actual listings that have hit the market, but the transaction volume is not reflecting that. We only have 11 additional sales, and we have over 80 additional units that hit the market compared to last month. Your days on market is once again up. We're up from 14 last year, and we have 16 currently. Below list price, 70%. Just like the condos, keep this trend in your head. We're likely going to see it across the board here. Below list price is what you're going to be seeing for a lot because it is the buyer's market now. It's not a seller's market anymore. And the good thing is, if you're buying and selling, you get to experience both. You're never going to win in both markets. If you're selling over list, you're likely going to pay over list to buy. If you're selling under list, you're hopeful to spend under list on your buy side as well. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but let's take a look. Freehold townhomes. Give me something better here. We had 983,000 last year be that median price. We're actually down to 915. So fairly big decrease in price. Transaction volume last month was pretty skinny, 11 transactions. We had double that last year, so we have 50% increase at 22. 45 new listings hit the market, 25 last month and 45 this past month, 80% increase, which is likely due to the fact that spring market's here, or coming hopefully soon, and we're seeing more inventory hit the market in March, prepping for that April, May hopeful busy market. Last year we had 38, so that all falls in line with each other. Below list price, 81%. So that number's getting pretty fat. 81.8% of the listings are actually selling below list price. Over asking, there's always a few because some people will try to sell it quickly by listing it low. Your days on market is, once again, going up, but it's only 13 days, so a lot better than the other categories that we have looked at. And last year it was 11 days. Now, the popular category in Mississauga, believe it or not, is actually a semi-detached category. Your median price last year was $1,060,000. We're actually down to $988,000, so we're down, another 70 grand here, give or take. Transactions are almost the same as they were last year, 66 and 81. It's not a huge decrease. Listings, very similar to last year. We have 130, there's 116, but below list, look at that, 62%. So more often in the semi-detached category, we're seeing things selling above list price. This is something that I've noticed quite a bit. That semi-detached category is very popular because if you own a condo, freehold, or a condo town, you're going to be kind of setting your sights on a semi-detached. So there's a buyer pool here that I think is a little bit bigger and willing to take some of that equity from their other properties and pay a little bit more for the semi. And I don't think they can necessarily get into that detached category yet. I don't think they have that kind of financial stability. So that's why I think we're seeing this above list price happen here. And let's finish it all off here. We've got the detached category. Your median last year, same month, 1,441,000. We are down, but not as much as you might expect. So 1.418. This is actually solid for the detached home category to be fairly stable. We haven't dropped some of these massive numbers like we're seeing hundreds of thousands of dollars in other categories. So that's actually fairly good. Now, maybe if we saw the same amount of transactions that there was last year, if we saw 200 transactions, maybe this number does slip below 1.4. It's very possible. You can see here below list price, we're back up again. So 75% of a detached homes are going below your list price. You're adding another 6 days on market where we were at only 10 last year. We're at 16 for the median. Always keep in mind, we're using median right now. And then your new listings, we did see a decent amount, 559. A lot of these might be coming from the terminations of 203. And then we had 405 last month. So we did see a big increase month over month in inventory that hit the market, which is great. We need some inventory. Hopefully it's all good inventory, of course, quality stuff. But, there's always a percentage of these homes that are just not ideal, to say the least, for some people. And what all this data really is showing us is we're still in a buyer's market. We're not necessarily getting better than we were same time last year. Well, now what you really want to think about is, what does all this data mean for you? If you have a property in Mississauga, you need to analyze what sector you are in and where you want to go with it. Do you just have a condo and you're kind of just monitoring the market? You can see that the prices are coming down, but you're okay to live there for the next 3 to 5 years? I think that's something that is feasible for a lot of people, depending on their situation. Maybe you have a condo, you just had a kid, and you're feeling that tightness in your home. You might be thinking to yourself, I'm going to take a little bit of a hit on the condo here, but I can see that the condo townhouse and the freehold townhouses have also taken a step back in price. So maybe this is a good opportunity for me to get into the market. You have to think about where your opportunity lies. And if you live in Mississauga, the opportunity is very similar as the Brampton and the GTA advice that I've given in my other videos. It is first-time home buyer trying to solidify a condo. You have your pick of the litter. You might be able to negotiate something awesome with a seller that needs to really move. You don't have to just buy any condo. You can be extremely patient and find the condo that you can get for a heck of a deal. That's where your opportunity lies for first-time home buyers. And then the move-up buyers, the detached is probably not the opportunity for you here. The detached prices have not come down all that much, especially in that year-over-year number that we're seeing, but you might be looking more of a semi-detached or to go into a freehold townhome from the condo. And that might make more sense, especially with that pricing of 1.4. You're not going to make that jump of $1 million from a condo to a detached home. It's just going to be too much for you to take on your shoulders in terms of the mortgage. Now, if you have the extra money that came from somewhere, by all means, but you might get enough space going into a semi or a freehold townhouse. If you enjoyed this video and you want to just watch the full update for the Greater Toronto area as a whole, you can watch that one right here. If you live in Peel and you're interested in checking out Brampton, we've got that one here as well, so you can see kind of where the two stack up. And I'll give you a bit of a spoiler. Mississauga prices are still quite a bit higher than what the Brampton prices are currently at. Brampton has built up a stigma recently, and a lot of people are not super excited to be moving there, and a lot of people are leaving Brampton. That's where a lot of our clients are currently coming from. So if you have any questions, you can call me at the number here on screen, or you can click the first link in the description box down below. You can hop on a phone call and we can chat about what makes sense for you in today's real estate market. So thanks so much for watching this video, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye for now.